Very strange and weird things at times that are happening around here. Come to think about it, and there are people who have witnessed these drastic changes, and they would definitely agree about it. We are indeed living the most exhilarating of times, most challenging times. Stress at job, project deadlines, huge workload, the mundane household work, and definite challenge. Now let us consider a couple of years back. Mostly people who were in the late 50s or early 60s or even older would have been complaining about all the old age-related disease like diabetes, heart-related diseases, high blood pressure, asthma, and various other lifestyle diseases. But ironically, these days we have youngsters in their prime 20s, early 30s complaining about back pain, knee problems, being extremely low on energy, complaining of high blood pressure and all kind of diseases that were otherwise predominantly a sort of prerogative of the elderly few. Like I mentioned, maybe who were in 50s or 55 years old. What could be the reasons? Yes, I'm sure that each one of us would blame it on the sedentary lifestyle, blame it on the intake of large amount of sugar, fat, carbs in the junk food, fast food that we now have inherently got accustomed to. Yes, while there is no denying this fact, it is also true and there is no overlooking one of the most important factors that each one of us are very well aware of. The fact that we conveniently tend to overlook and ignore the absolute basic factors, that is good intake of food, green vegetables, leafy vegetables, very important intake of water, minimum 8 liters every day, and physical activities, extremely less intake of vitamins, minerals, less proteins that naturally present green vegetables has led to a lot of chaos. Friends, consider this fact. People, in fact, our great grandparents, ancestors were far more healthier, much more in greater physical and mental health, and even much more strong and fit than us. Despite the fact that they were never had a privilege or access to the kind of luxurious life, things and technology that we have taken for granted these days. They used to climb mountains, go walking, do farming, plough fields, lift up sacks, alight into the well, and do a lot of all kind of imaginable physical activities that are absolutely physical in nature because that was the need for them for the survival. And naturally, they would be healthier. If one were to conduct a survey of sort, have the medical checkup done and then compare genuine medical reports of people living in cities who have more or less led an absolute modern lifestyle to that of the medical reports of people who have lived in the villages, spent their entire lives, don't be surprised if you find a stark difference in the reports of the two, where you would easily find all kind of health related issues and diseases that are relatively new and more prevalent in the people from cities compared to the people from the yesteryears, or for that matter even from villages in these days. Dear folks, the point that I would really want to put across here is not to contest with any of you on any particular point of view or declare whether these points are right or justifiable, but instead bring to the table the fact that you could very well integrate some activity while you are still working, mostly so if your work does not require you to be physically active. What I meant by saying that is, you could, while still maybe on a call, a meeting, or you may be on a laptop sitting for hours together, all you need to do is stand up, stretch, do at least few squats, brief movements, maybe few push-ups, any kind of physical movements. You need not stay still. Please ensure You do not sit at the same place for more than 30 minutes at a stretch. You could do some movements while still watching television, while in the kitchen, or do any kind of routine chores. Friends, we need to understand this. Exercise is great for brains. Exercise improves blood flow to the brain, feeding the growth of new blood vessels and even new brain cells. It triggers the growth of new neurons and helps repair, protect brain cells from degeneration. It also helps people to focus better. You tend to become happier. Countless studies have shown that many types of exercise, from walking to cycling, people feel much more better and even relieve symptoms of depression. Exercise does trigger release of chemicals in the brain, and you tend to grow healthy and age gracefully. Exercise has been shown to lengthen the lifespan by as many as 5 years. A small new study suggests that moderate intensity exercise may slow down the aging of cells. It can also help you recover from major illness. While you have hundreds of excuses for not exercising, there are countless more reasons for you to go out there and hit the gym. If it's closed for some reason, still do not make an excuse. Get moving, get started. Let it be any form of physical movement, but do get started. Thank you.